Well, welcome to a special edition, I think, of Ride With Us. I'm in today. Sorry, but
Don't be
I'm
sorry.
stoked to be with Jim Dewey Brown, General Manager, Prescott Frontier Days, world's oldest rodeo. Prescott Frontier Days, world's oldest rodeo. It's a mouthful and an awesome event. And Kimberly Lopez, I don't know what you don't do, President, Prescott Frontier Days Board, as well as council person extraordinaire of the town of Prescott Valley. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Known you for a little bit.
Yes.
A very effective personality. Love always having you in and talking to you.
Thank you.
So thanks for what you guys do, because I know what you do at all levels. The rodeo, the world's oldest rodeo, is the city of Prescott's most successful event and probably longest running based on the name.
Yeah.
Something like that.
How are you guys? All good?
We're good. We're good.
Talk to me real quick about some of the quick info that you can share on the last rodeo, 138th, I think it was, and what happened. Some quick facts to always keep the record straight.
So we had a really good year. We had over 37,850 folks attend. That's ticketed fans. So that was pretty big. Another sellout, standing room only.
Sold out event.
Sold out event.
And how many contestants participated this year?
Yeah, so this year we had 647 PRCA contestants, WPRA contestants. We had 141 wild horse racers. We had 99 mutton busters, and we had 14 exceptional champions.
Awesome.
And then a bunch of cowpuncher broncs. I don't have the exact number on that one, but yeah, the cowpuncher broncs put us over. We're right at 901 total contestants.
Jeez, almost 1,000 contestants. Where are people coming from? Because I know I haven't seen the heat map yet. I think you shared with me briefly the other night. It's always an interesting viewpoint of how significant the rodeo is in terms of its reach, not only regionally, nationally, as well as globally. I don't think some people realize how many people from all around the world come to the rodeo.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, you go to looking at, who buys tickets, who's coming in. We see a massive Yavapai County attendance. Then you get into the Phoenix area, kind of surrounding Coconino County, Maricopa, then down into Tucson a little bit, but basically from us out, it spreads out, and about 80, usually hovers between 85 to 88% of our tickets are from Arizona. This year we were at 87.
87.
Yep. There was 46 states in attendance.
Okay.
Not quite 50, but we'll get there.
We're going to get those last four. And it's not four you would think. Alaska and Hawaii were in attendance this year.
Okay. So, all right.
Yeah. One of my favorite demographics for World Oldest is the outside countries.
Of course.
It's 1% of our ticket sales. And this year we had 17 countries.
I'm looking at Great Britain, Belgium, Denmark, Spain, Slovenia.
That's a new one.
I like that. Italy, Switzerland, Norway, Poland, Australia, Germany, France, Lithuania.
Another new one.
That's a nice one. Canada, Indonesia. Didn't expect that one. Awesome. Mexico and United Arab Emirates.
That's the other new one. We haven't had
so a bit of a reach. Who you ever thought that
it's
small town,
worldwide, definitely worldwide.
So talk to me about it. Said we got here some large rodeo of the year.
So yeah, technically we haven't announced that. They haven't announced it yet. But
is that a spoiler alert?
No, it's a spoiler. No, you can leave it in there. By the time this comes out, it should be announced. So I got the call 2 days ago. The circuit has a new award going out for small, medium, and large rodeos of the year for the Turquoise Circuit, which is New Mexico and Arizona. And we won large rodeo of the year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. And there's another one there. I'm afraid
yeah,
to say it now.
So this one we don't know yet. They have not tallied the votes on this one yet for the circuit. It's the Justin Boots Best Footing Award.
You've won that before, though, right?
Yes, we've won it several years. And our tractor man, Mike Alderete, he's 5-time champion of that award.
Explain to folks, because not everybody knows
what
footing is. That is the dirt for laymen. It's just your arena dirt. We got good dirt.
We got good dirt.
That sounds Prescott. I like it.
Yeah, we have a really good staff, and of course, Mike. He loves dirt, and he's very passionate about it.
Mike.
He was on the podcast.
So be like Mike.
Be like
Mike.
Nice.
And if you've ever watched him on the tractor,
we gotta get some video.
Oh yeah, everything's very methodical. There's a rhyme and a reason to everything that he does, except for the heart. I like the way he does the heart.
People don't understand tractors unless you've been on one. There's something about them where it's strangely relaxing. I got a little one at our place. I can spend hours on it.
And he
might drink a beer, but we're not going to talk about that.
He doesn't do that.
Right, he doesn't do that.
Not allowed.
But I can see why people like being on tractors.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time on the tractor. Of course, there's a lot of feel, and then of course, every ground is different in every arena.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and so it's a lot of feel, and then what he does is, it's pretty magical. So
keep all the rocks out.
So I'm looking at some of the charitable contributions that World's Oldest Rodeo and the Prescott Frontier Days contributes back to the community. I just want you guys to speak about what happened this past year, but what you guys do throughout the year, every year, that again, people don't realize. You're a nonprofit. You provide assistance to other people and organizations around the community.
Correct. So I'll let you talk about some of the big ones, but we had Writing for a Cure, which used to be Tough Enough to Wear Pink, is for the cancer. So that actually all that money stays in Yavapai County. Nice. Everything that we raise. I'm not sure that we have the totals yet.
We don't have the totals yet, but it is by and large one of the best years we've ever had in fundraising for the cause.
And that's usually a dinner. People come out for silent auction, live auction. It's just a good time, and all that money gets to stay here and help out those that are going through cancer treatments here in Yavapai County.
It's great that it stays in the county.
Absolutely.
So you kind of say you may be just one of the world's oldest charitable organizations as well.
One of
maybe.
them. Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, we could look that fact up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, if you really want to dive into it, on our website, we have a new landing page for our We Rodeo, We Give. That's our tagline, our slogan for our charitable arm of rodeo. But yeah, we do so many things with the community, with, youth groups and, just different groups all around, whether it be a goodie basket with some, tickets for them to auction, and but our flagship, I guess, contributions and donorships. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Donations. The reason why he's not listing it off, because I landed on this page on the world's oldest rodeo.com, We Rodeo, We Give. There's actually too many to talk about.
Yep. It's
be here all day. It's pretty impressive
massive.
In terms of what you guys give back.
Yep. Like I said, our flagship is the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund.
Okay.
This year, with our Whiskey, Women, and Wine fundraiser, we raised $35,000.
How come they get one of those?
A fundraiser?
No,
the women.
Whiskey, Women.
Because you guys like to hang on to your credit card. The women we throw that thing around. We throw money down.
And they did a good job this year. They raised some good money. So.
It's a lot of fun. It usually falls on a Friday.
Yes.
And it's before the performance. It starts at 3:00 in the afternoon. And, we have limited seating, and we do live auction, we do silent auction. I was going to say some of our pickup men sometimes end up taking their shirts off.
Nah, they didn't quite go all the way.
They didn't quite, but hey. So you get some whiskey. Yeah, you get some whiskey and some wine and the women, there's some hooping and hollering going on, but it actually, it's all for a good cause. At the end of the day, we're very good friends. We, laugh together and we give back to the cowboys that don't actually have insurance.
Awesome. And then I'm looking at your youth programs. You have 11 or 12 of them from
right.
You got everything here. Arizona High School Rodeo Finals, Launchpad, Teen Center, Working Ranch Cowboys Association, Prescott Teen Task Force, Fashion Talent Show, which I couldn't enter that one, Grand Canyon Regional Finals, Arizona Junior Rodeo Association Finals, Yavapai County Junior Rodeo Association. It kind of goes on and on and on. Hosted events, 100 Men Who Care.
Correct.
Rodeo grounds rental and facility discounts shared with community partners. I don't think people don't realize, I think this is something that we need to talk about more. The Prescott Frontier Days Rodeo grounds isn't just home to the world's oldest rodeo. It's home to multiple public community events. It is a public arena, essentially. It's a city property, and you guys make sure that the public has access and that events take place. And I'm looking at Girl Scouts, Arizona Cactus Pine Group, Mile High Tractor Pull, which I got to go to that one. Olson's AZ Equifest, bit of that, love it.
Yep.
Take my dog there every year. Yavapai County Fair.
Yep.
WRCA Youth Ranch Rodeo and Match Bronc Riding. And there's I'm looking at
Cirque Matio.
Thank you. Equestrian Circus.
That's coming up, by the way.
What's that?
That's coming up, by the way.
Okay. What's the date of that?
Oh, shoot. I'd have to look at the calendar.
So
not very, I think it's first part of November.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, that's 6 significant events in addition to the whole week of the rodeo. So the economic impact of all that stuff, quality of life and what people experience living here in the Prescott region and Prescott Valley and Chino Valley, Dewey, Humboldt, Yavapai County. I don't think people are really aware of how many things you guys help facilitate.
Well, it's grown so big that we actually have an events coordinator full-time on staff, and that's her whole job.
It's just putting on parties.
Yep.
In the dirt.
Yep. For the community, for us, for all involved. And she runs, her name is Sherry, and she actually runs all those events. So you can always give her a call.
Sherry does an awesome job.
She does.
What number can people call if they want to call your facility and see what's going on? And
I know it's *2 on my phone if you ever find my phone. So
928-445-3103.
And we'll flash that up on the screen along with the URL. But again, what's one thing besides what we've already mentioned that you want people to know that maybe either they don't or there's consistent, frequently asked questions or misinformation that can help set them straight?
Yeah, I think, it's kind of, we'd kind of have to dive in a little deeper.
Sure.
But, which we've got
plenty of time.
So, the organization itself, Prescott Frontier Days, it's a group of folks that I guess the mission is volunteer. They're volunteers to enhance and what's the word I'm looking for?
Cultivate,
continue,
sustain, preserve.
That's the word.
Okay.
Preserve the Western way of life and also continue production of the world's oldest rodeo.
Right.
So you have the membership, the Prescott Frontier Days, and then from there they elect a board of directors, and so that's where you have Kim and the other 8, and they're basically in charge of managing and keeping the organization going.
So you have the board.
So you have the board.
And how many people on the board?
There's 9.
And those are elected individuals?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? You're the general manager?
So then the board, they hire me, the general manager. And so I'm basically there to put on the rodeo, make sure the rodeo goes, And then of course all the other things that go along with being the general manager. And then I have my team that I hire. And so that's when you get the events coordinator, sponsor relations, office manager, facilities manager, and then of course all of my support staff with them.
So if I walk into those double doors, kick them up, I'm like, who's the boss around here?
They're going to point you to the back.
To this guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I don't think people, they may know, is it the board? Is it Jim?
Yeah. It's kind of a weird deal, I have my freedom to do what I need to do and what I think's best for the.
Your ultimate role is to put on a rodeo.
Correct.
Exactly.
Right. The city's largest event.
Yep.
And the board's ultimate goal is we support what Jim puts on, and it is
until they don't. It's weird.
Until they don't. It is a weird dynamic because there are times that we're like, yeah, no, sorry. But for the most part, we support it.
Hear one of those stories.
It's funny because I've worked for boards for quite a while, and it's kind of the same thing in the rodeo industry. Is I'm the boss, and so I work for them, but I tell them what I want to do and what to do. But also it can go the other way. Uh-huh. It does go the other way. They tell me what.
Oh, it's called checks and balances, right?
But even though I'm technically their employee, I'm still the boss.
Well, and I think every one of the board of directors, we know our place. Yeah. I mean, we put a lot of faith and trust into who we hired, so we're never going to override them. We include them in everything that we do. A lot of times I get asked about sponsorships. I can tell you what's in the sponsorship book, but I'm going to lead you back to the people that do that. Yeah. I don't negotiate those. It's not my job.
So let's talk briefly. It's going to be strange with him in the room. And I promise not to speak about you in third person.
It's okay.
Who did you hire? So what was your track to get here? Let's talk about undergrad, grad, Bronc champ, I think. Talk to me about your
So I
your
can
CV.
tell you who we hired, and who we hired was the best person for continuing on the world's oldest rodeo. That was never a question in any one of our conversations.
Okay. So let's add to that.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school? How did you get into the rodeo? How did you get here? What was that track like?
It was, we talked about this briefly on the first podcast I did.
Yeah.
But I started late, my bronc riding career. I was a junior in high school, went through high school, got a rodeo scholarship at Tarleton State University, Stephenville, Texas.
Okay.
And from there, that's where I got the love of production, was my rodeo coach, Bob Dewey. I worked for him as well. It was a work study, and then I was a grad assistant / assistant coach for the rodeo team there.
Okay.
And graduated with a master's, and it was kind of cool the way they let me do it. My master's is in agriculture, but they let me tailor it with sports marketing and a lot of coaching related.
They mixed dirt and business.
Yeah, dirt and business.
That sounds like an appropriate mix for what you did.
It was awesome, right? Except for statistics. Though I use statistics every day, and I got to do these things every day. Right. I hated that class.
It's his Achilles heel.
Show me a person that liked him, and I'll show you probably an accountant.
But even worse than that was inorganic chemistry, which I have never used. Oh. Yeah, I hated that class. Yeah. But so from there, I when I left, got my degree, went home back to New Mexico, and got the job as the rodeo coach at New Mexico State University, the first official coach they've ever had in their, at that point, it was 50 plus year tenure as a rodeo team. Was there for 13 and a half years. And of course, that list of accomplishments while I was there is a mile long. We had a really great team, and we built that team up from basically 10 or 12 kids to my peak was, I think, in 2012 was about 90 kids on the team, on the rodeo team. So, and of course I had kind of gotten over the bureaucracy and politics of the university systems, and I was ready to move on and do something else. And so I did. I left, and I was a gypsy for about 8 months. And that's when I went to work for Kirsten Vold. And so I was her flank man for half the year. And then at that point, I flanked for her. This was in 2016. So I flanked for her right after the college finals, which is in June. And I flanked for her all the way through NFR that year. And then that October, I was living in Socorro, New Mexico, and they had just built a brand new rodeo arena, covered arena, and it had a sports complex attached to it. There's soccer fields attached to it. And I got the job. That's the job I wanted, was managing the arena. The job I got was managing the arena and being the tourism director. So I got to pad my resume with some tourism, more city BS.
Back into the bureaucracy.
And so, so I worked for the city, and then of course COVID hit, and everybody knows how that went in New Mexico. If you don't know how it went in New Mexico, basically
shut down.
It was a brick wall to anything and everything that you wanted to do. The governor there was not as cool as your governor here.
Got it.
During COVID, I came over here and helped with production. I was on the timed events crew.
Talk about a different environment.
Way different environment, and way different reaction to COVID. Way different. And so, obviously I had the mayor of Socorro furlough me, basically just let me go. And he kept on a few of my staff that I had, but moved them into different departments. And then I said, you know what, I'll just stay at the ranch and help Dad. We got corrals to build. We got these things. And then in January 21, during Snowpocalypse, I think is what you guys called it, I had an interview.
Snowapalooza.
Yeah. So I interviewed. It was funny because we got here, and then we drove through snow. We got up to Cordis, and it was coming down pretty hard. Stayed here in Prescott Valley, and the next day they said, we're gonna have to push your interview for another day. All of the board can't get here. And I was like, well, I did. How did you not get it? So anyway,
now you understand why we couldn't do that.
Yeah. And so they interviewed, and then on my way back home, I hadn't even got down to the bottom of the hill in Anthem, and they called and offered me the job and said, get up here. And
so you're also involved in the collegiate rodeo.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
So I'll back up and kind of get.
So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's important, right? Because it's a much larger piece of the entire rodeo community, and for you to have that integration, I think is valuable to our rodeo and to the community.
Yeah. Well, then, going back to, when I was in college, riding broncs, and I bought my pro card in 97, and I was PRCA rodeo and college rodeo at the same time. Like I said, college rodeo has been basically the kickoff point of my career, and I owe everything to it. And I've always been loyal to that division of the sport, basically. Being a coach, being a contestant. It was 2000 my first college finals as a coach was 2001. I missed 2002, and I'd been to every one of them since. Either as I ran the neck rope, or I'd just help with production. And then when the commissioner that there was Sonny Sykes, there was another one, and then John Smith, Roger Walters, and then me, and that has been the total commissioners of the NIRA since 1949.
Wow.
And so when John became commissioner, he hired Roger to be the arena director. And then when Roger became commissioner, he hired me to be the arena director of the college national finals. And I did that for 15, 16, 17 years, I believe. And so it was kind of the natural progression of, you're the arena director, you've got the knowledge, you can run the college finals, and now and so when Roger retired, basically set me up to apply for the commissioner job
Right.
for the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association. So basically, I've got two major high stress positions in the rodeo industry, and
no bureaucracy.
They go on
whatsoever.
at the same time.
And yeah, that's the worst part about it is college finals ends a week before World's Oldest begins.
It warms you up.
It just, yeah.
It does.
Right. But I think that's important, because you tell me, because I got all kinds of ideas, how does that help you with Prescott Frontier Days and World's Oldest Rodeo, not only from a human standpoint, but from an event standpoint? How do they influence each other? Because I'm guessing they do.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've done in my career has influenced what we're doing and what we're trying to do and where we're going. I was a contestant, obviously, and I mean, I came here in '97, and I went every year. I had a card. Won it in '99 and 2003. And then, of course, as a coach, you're wanting to raise up that next generation of contestants. And then, of course, I always want my contestants to be good citizens.
Right.
They need to be good leaders of their event, ambassadors of the sport. And so you'll see a lot of my kids. We've had several. Actually, we had a couple this year win the World's Oldest Rodeo, and so that was really good for me to see. 10, 12 years down the road.
Sure.
Hey, that kid was on my team,
right?
And they did good. So obviously that plays a part into it. But on the production side, everything, you see as a contestant, you see as a coach, you see as the producer, like, could have done better here, could have done better here. We need to work on this. All of those things add up and compile into this big lump sum of what is me, basically. Right. And so, yeah, I have the I guess the experience and the chops. I think they call it, right? Yeah. Right. To see what needs to be worked on and see where we need to go as an organization and where the rodeo needs to go. Of course.
I think that's where the balance comes between Jim and the board, because no one on our board has done that. So we rely on his knowledge to tell us where he's wanting to go and how he got there, so then we can actually figure out where do the dollars come from to make it happen. And I'm assuming that the board side, they hear, okay, Jim's vision, and he's a visionary. He wants to go here based on his experience. And then the board is executing initiatives and programs that drive dollars, drive promotion, drive the politics to some, because let's face it, these days you can't, doesn't matter where you live. We're not a political entity. We steer 100%. Clear of that. But unfortunately, because of the nature of the fact that we are a city-owned property, we do have to deal with the politics. But yes. 100%. So politics is not Jim's job. Right. So you're helping to integrate in the community, communicate with the community, because I know you do a lot of that. That's why you're here, because I am going to get you in a second. It's going to be your turn here in a minute. Right? But I think it's important to know, and I ask the same question a lot just to bring it back up and talk about it again, because people forget, or we have new people in the community. For them to know the ins and outs of this event is extremely important in my point of view. And the person who's at the tiller, at the wheel, setting the vision, I think people want to know, who is that dude? Because that's what they're going to say when they look at you. Who's that dude? Who's that guy? What's he made of? Does he have the chops for it, or is this just a random hire? We got a dude, pardon the familiarity with that expression, but we have a person who is the commissioner of the Collegiate Rodeo, the general manager of the World's Oldest Rodeo, says a lot. And he's got his master's in dirt and agriculture. Agriculture. I'm being funny. Agriculture and marketing. What a great mix for our city. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, on the other side of the table here, we've got one of the premier wranglers of
I said this to her once. I'm just going to own it.
Okay,
Do you mind me saying it?
You're fine. You're fine.
I've gotten to know her over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. And when she decided to get involved with the rodeo, and then pretty quickly, she's on council of the town of Prescott Valley. I said, this is perfect for you. She goes, why? I go, well, you don't have a problem standing up, and I won't say arguing, but fighting for what's right. Mm-hmm. And you're not afraid of complicated situations. Is that true?
That is very true.
And so I said, I'll abbreviate. I think I said, you're complicated and you like to argue.
Pretty much.
But the real compliment there is you'll stand up for what you think is right, even if it's unpopular.
Correct.
And you're not afraid.
No.
So what a great person to lead a board that is constantly embattled in not only just normal business challenges, because mm-hmm. anybody who knows anything about business or large events, they're exasperating. They take a huge amount of energy and time and intellect, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel after that week? What do you want to do that 8th day?
Sleep.
I can tell you a story about how I feel about that day. I always tell people the hardest time for any of us is the Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon performance, and then Saturday night performance. So we don't usually get out until about 11 on Friday night. We have to be back at Saturday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning so that we can get prepared for the parade. We have the 1:30 performance, then we have a 7:30 performance. In between those two performances, it's not uncommon to find me asleep under the boardroom table. There have been several times. A chair. There was one year I was asleep in the chair, and I remember somebody going, shh, she's sleeping in the boardroom. Yeah. But and then this year, I think there are 2 other directors, like they found chairs in the boardroom. I mean, it's pretty exhausting. I don't know how he does it. I'm pretty sure he's sleeping somewhere too.
Right. And I just don't think people are, it's
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's not uncommon. Actually, it's very common, I should say, to see Jim in the arena. He's not out. Our job as directors is out talking to the community and the sponsors and all of that during the rodeo week. He's always out working in the arena.
Yep. No, I've seen him. I've seen him with his hand on his hip and chewing. And you can tell he's on fire and his mind's going everywhere, right?
And when he's spitting, he's not chewing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all that dirt and that dust.
Well, you got to get it. Yeah.
I get it. What's your favorite thing about it? Why do you do it?
You know what? It's the culture. It's a different culture of human being. And
I agree with that 100%.
It's what our country was truly founded on. If you really want to know what the foundation of our country is, go to a rodeo and meet the people that have been doing it for decades.
I think an even better one, if you could do it. I'm fortunate enough to interact with you guys once or twice a month, and the privilege of sitting in on some of your board meetings. I went back to my wife after maybe the second meeting. I was just getting to know you. She goes, so what do you think about it? I'm like, I like it. She goes, well, why? I'm like, it's just straight talk. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to deal with not understanding what people want me to do. It's clear. It's steadfast. And it goes back to what you're talking about is it's a culture that I'm guessing that people were more like this back in the day, just because I think most of these people that I'm talking to were raised by the people that helped build our country and the ranching.
You go back to traditions.
It's a tradition. It's a culture. I think there's an ethos there that doesn't exist throughout the entire community. I wish it did. What I think of when I think of the people on the board is I think of polite, direct. They look in the eye. Everybody shakes my hand when I walk into a room. If they like you, they tell you so.
And they take their hat off before they
take
shake
your
your
hat
hand.
off.
For the women.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
his hat's got to stay on for the podcast.
But I mean, how many times have you ever walked into somewhere and a gentleman offers his hand and doesn't take his hat off to a woman? It's actually very rude, believe it or not. But when you walk into a rodeo, it's very common to see somebody take their hat off and shake your hand, and they say, "Ma'am," they say, "Thank you."
This culture is unfortunately the antithesis of what's going on right now with the disconnectedness, the respect. I think respectful or respect is another word I would use when I walk into that room, and I mean it. But just the direct, like, yeah, no, I never misunderstand Jim when he wants me to do something. I appreciate that. It's just great communication. So it's a pleasure to work with an organization just so clear, but there's not a lot of angst. Everyone seems to really enjoy and they're competent. Everyone knows their role. You don't see people jumping out of lanes into another lane. You don't say, well, I've got that for so-and-so. No, that's his lane. They want help. I'm there, but everyone's got their thing.
I like to say we fight hard, but we love even harder.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. So there's tons here. Let's talk about, because I have a whole list of things that we could talk about. We talked a lot about the event and its challenges. Can you guys highlight, you got any good stories about some of the competitors, characters, personal stories that resonate with folks? Because I love a good story.
How much time you got on those stories?
Either you do or you do. Somebody's got something, I know.
You might have to bleep some of this.
That's fine. I think Tony,
I'm not telling those
Tony,
stories.
You can bleep stuff out, right?
Of course I can.
Okay.
I'm not telling those stories.
Probably could be the first bleeping podcast hosted by Jim Dewey.
I will actually tell a good story. So, and it's on the political side, but when the big elephant that's in every room is our $15.3 million. When we found out that we got that, Jim and I were immediately on the phone. We were talking to other people around, and it was like, before this hits the newspaper, before everybody else knows about it, our membership and our sponsors deserve to hear it from us first.
Right.
And so we held off on everybody. I mean, there was a lot of, and you guys were part of that. There were a lot of people making phone calls. There were a lot of people like protecting that data so that we could give the respect back to the membership. That's the family that's the culture we create is they're the ones that are working free. I mean, the board works for free. But they deserve to know that their fight, their battle, their dedication prevailed. And so they deserved to hear that first before they read it in the newspaper.
Right. Congrats on that. I know that was an extended battle to start improving some of the most important public facilities that this town owns, right?
Correct.
So I get it.
I mean, but there were tears in the room. There was laughter. There was relief. There was, you saw it. And if you saw it from where we as board of directors were standing, because we're watching what's going on, people were speechless because it was just a relief. It was like, thank you. Somebody understands and respects what we do.
Right. Now let's hear some bleeping stories. I'm sure there was a lot of bleeping.
You don't tell boardroom stories. Those might not go over well.
No.
So if there's a story that the folks over there tell on the rodeo, what is one that always comes up when they're reminiscing?
God,
there's so many, because just the nature of rodeo and this rodeo itself, you have your different areas where, these guys hang out together, maybe they're security or bartenders or ushers or, they're on that side of the outside of the arena or parking or, whatever. And then you have, like you have your board and they're all out and about and they're going to all these areas. And then you have your rodeo personnel. And so the stock contractor, and the contestants themselves, me, one of our other directors, and that crew that actually is in the arena doing the work, getting dirty, blood, sweat, and tears. That it's hard to say, oh, this is the story, because every one of them has that story.
Right.
I can tell you about the first time we did Whiskey, Women, and Wine. Because I was not expecting this. Because I attend, right? Was I the president the first year? No. No, I wasn't.
So you can't get in trouble.
No, well, it was fine. But I was one of the women that was attending, and we had to present a check in the arena. And Jim goes, "Why aren't you dressed?" And I'm like, "I'm totally in a dress." He's like, "You have to present a check in the arena. You need to be back in your director outfit." I'm like, what? Literally, I was running to, do you remember this? I was running to his golf cart, trying to tuck my shirt in, trying to buckle myself in, throw my boots on, as he's like racing down to the arena, because what most people don't realize, we're timed. There's like a time for everything. So whether or not I was put together or not wasn't going to hold him
Right.
up. But I literally was trying to get myself dressed on the back of a golf cart.
Knees to chest.
Yes. I mean,
Walk faster.
it was, and people were all like, "Oh my God, Kim, I don't know how you did that." But I laughed the whole time. I mean, and I'm pretty sure people were like, "What the hell is wrong with that person?"
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's funny stories throughout every rodeo, and it's hard to pinpoint one, especially some of the ones that are the most funniest are definitely not they shouldn't be consumed by the public.
Right.
Talk about what we do on
But that's the
movie
beauty of
night.
being a member, a volunteer,
Right,
part
you
of
get
it.
to
If
be
you
a part of
want to
that
really
thing.
have a good time
Yeah.
and work hard at the same time, which is what accomplishment's all about, right? It's never easy, but it's also fun. Become a volunteer. Get involved.
Talk about the kickoff, like what we do right after the.
So we started this. We skipped a year, but we started this at the junior Bonner year. What was that? 136,
Yes.
I think.
I think so.
The 136th. We were celebrating the 50 years of junior Bonner, and so we have the kickoff party, which is generally it's the day before the rodeo starts, which most generally it's on a Sunday night. So we honor our contract personnel, the membership, and the stock contractors, the pickup men, the timers, the judges, all the folks that make the rodeo go round. We come in, have a little party, kick off the rodeo. Well, we started, we played the movie afterwards. So we have the arena set. We've got the big screen up, driver golf carts down there, pull up some lawn chairs, have a good time, watch the movie. We skipped the next year, so 137. But then last year, 138. No. What did we skip?
No, I think you skipped the first year because then
I
it was
skipped the first. Junior Bonner.
No, we did
Blazing Saddles was
yeah.
last.
Yeah, we did.
2024. I'll go back to
2024.
years. 2024
Yeah.
was Blazing Saddles.
Correct.
It's you have to have how do you put this movie? It is a classic.
Oh,
It
well,
is a
yeah.
classic.
It is
No
a classic
doubt.
movie. It is terrible by today's standards of
That's what makes it so
PC.
good.
But yeah, like you said, there's some awful lines and stuff in there, but it's a classic movie, and the contestants that were there, everybody that stayed to watch.
And you have that in the arena?
We have it in the arena,
Mhm.
so yeah, we
You put up a big screen?
we have the big screen that's
Okay.
set up there for the replay,
Yeah, that's
the
right.
replay board, and that's where we watch the movie.
I got to go. to
last
one of those.
This year, this 2025's rodeo, we were celebrating women in rodeo.
Yep. I was just going to ask about that. So
I asked the girls in the office, I said, what do you guys want to watch? And my wife was among them, and they said they want Grease. And so we played Grease, and we had a massive sing-along session basically for 2 hours.
And we had a dance along. I mean, we were everybody was just having a good time.
It was a good time. Threw a bunch of popcorn in the popcorn machine. Made loads of popcorn.
Another reason to volunteer, get involved with the rodeo.
Yeah. Just kind of a preview for next year. We're going classic, old school John Wayne.
Nice.
We're gonna play the Cowboys.
I'm in.
So if you've seen the movie, you know it. If you don't, if you want to come watch the Cowboys, starring John Wayne and little bitty Clay O'Brien Cooper.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
You got to do a grit one too, because I love that movie.
Feel your hands.
Feel your hands. Probably the best remake. And I hate, not to stay away from the classic, but the Jeff Bridges and the remake of that was easily one of the best remakes I've ever seen, right? So I could watch both in tandem. But again, another reason to get involved in the rodeo is the fun you guys have. It's not just hard work, not just politics. And I want to ask you, I know his track now. Well, probably a year, 2 years from now, we'll say it all over again, but why did you do this? So you got enough on your plate. What was the impetus?
So I actually started back in 2006, and I was a cheer mom and the president of my daughter's cheer team on the parent board, and they sold programs. And so I had to be on property. I was actually, since I was the president of that, I was there for all 8 performances. So I knew exactly what it was. As far as the dedication and having to do that, because it's a lot of work. The person that I worked with, was Kathy Gaddy. Mm-hmm. And she was in charge of all the programs, and she had made a comment that she didn't want to continue on doing that forever. So the next year I was her assistant chairman. And then the following year I took over the chairman for program sales, kind of twofold, because then my daughter's cheer team was still in there and doing their thing. But I just never stopped. I became a member. I ran for the board and lost. I also then got appointed to the board, and I've kind of just been there ever since.
Sounds like persistence.
Kind of.
Sounds just like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, it goes back to the kind of the culture of Cowboys. Yes, she lost, life lesson, whatever.
Right.
But culture, that Cowboy culture is you kind of got to pay your dues. You got to see where you're at.
Got to get to know you a little bit.
I was the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I graduated college in 2002, and it wasn't until 2021 that I actually got a decent paying job.
So 100%.
People don't appreciate that. I could be completely wrong, that they just want it all right away. But the beauty of earning it is you can't take that away from
put
anybody.
The work in.
Well, I wasn't there all the time. I was only there kind of like the month before rodeo and then a couple weeks after rodeo. But it is the best time. Like, I look forward to it. Every job I have ever had, it's like, okay, but during this time and this time I have the rodeo. That was the priority. And not a single one of my employers ever said no.
Yeah.
Because it is a passion. That was a priority, and it was a passion.
Awesome.
So
we talked about a lot of good information. There's tons more. Let's talk about, I've heard you say about the mutton busting, and I went right to you. Let's do some myth busting. Myth busting.
But we can talk about mutton busting, because those are some cute kids.
That sounds really
They
cute.
are some cute kids. And you know what? To watch those kids win that buckle and win their first Prescott Frontier Days buckle.
It's so funny and cute
it is
at the
great.
same time.
Oh, yes.
Legalized child abuse.
So we busted some muttons in the last rodeo. Let's bust a couple myths.
I'm down.
Sounds good.
What is one of the most common myths of the world's oldest rodeo, or the rodeo grounds, whatever, that you want to bust? What is it?
That we missed a year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
During the war. That's probably the biggest one. That's
During
actually
which
one.
war?
Two.
It's been around a while, so
2.
Okay.
And that actually went to court, and we prevailed on that one too. So
it went to court. Did you say World War II?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
the reason
it actually had to go to court to resolve it?
To prove that we actually never missed a year. So there was another claim.
Rodeo, right?
There was another claim. I'll let Jim talk about it. But there was another claim.
Well, and world's oldest rodeo as a whole, no, we're not the first. You had Danny on the podcast a couple times ago, I think. He kind of touched on it. But yeah, there was, I'm going to try to get my dates right here. Back in 1860, I think it was 1865, 67, or 69. I don't remember. Deer Trail, Colorado. There was a bronc ride in Deer Trail, Colorado. And before that, I think it was 1850 something. There was some sort of roping or something in Santa Fe.
Are they still in existence?
Not how they started.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They were single events. They were just,
okay.
It started the ball, Buffalo Bill and, the Wild West shows. That started the entertainment ball, so to speak. World's oldest rodeo. So before us, like I said, Deer Trail, Colorado, Santa Fe, Pecos, Texas, they had basically, I think it was a steer roping. And Payson, Arizona, they had, what has evolved into what their rodeo is.
Right.
World's oldest rodeo, what sets us apart from all of those is that we had 5 things that we did. They had a committee, group of local folks that wanted to entertain a crowd, put on a competition, put on an event for the community. And so you have a committee. They added money. They had prize money for the contestants. They invited the contestants. They kept detailed records, which was very difficult back in, late 1800s. A lot of people just didn't even think about, writing stuff down.
Do we still have some of those?
We do.
Ooh, I'd like to see some of those.
Yep. And what was the 5th thing? Committee, money.
Tickets.
They sold tickets to the event.
Get some little tickets laying around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And so those 5 criteria is what initially, I guess, became the birthplace of modern rodeo as we know it. We had the rules and those things, committee, prize money, all of the things, those 5 things basically became the birthplace of rodeo as we know it. And so when, I don't know, it was 1985 when they
85.
When they did the trademark for the world's oldest rodeo, and they had to prove of all of those things.
I didn't know that. Yeah. This ain't just some random creative marketing trademark.
No.
It had to meet criteria.
It had to have the criteria, and so
that's an important point, I think, to
important.
hear. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And to share with the listeners is the criteria that was met to obtain that name.
Yep, exactly. So our friends at Payson, they have a similar claim. They have world's oldest continuous rodeo, and which is fine. We're good friends. We have that fun jib jab here and there. Who's oldest?
Yeah. We just.
But it's all good. As long as we're all supporting the sport of rodeo, that's our goal.
Right.
And their claim was that we missed a year, and
you weren't sleeping in the boardroom, were you?
I know.
Okay.
There was one newspaper article. And I think it was a state newspaper that actually wrote about we met all the criterias and listed everything in it. So then we could prove that, no, we never missed a year.
You mean a newspaper got something wrong?
No, the newspaper actually got it right.
They got it right.
They were the only ones that actually documented it.
Person or entity claiming that we didn't, was it?
It was Payson.
Oh, I don't know.
It was. It was.
I don't want to bring up
no,
stuff.
it's not because we're all good friends. And that's kind of where it was. It was like the claim couldn't be made that because they were saying that we missed a year, and we were like, no, we didn't miss a year. It became, and I wasn't around when they started that whole battle and going back and forth. But if you talk to Danny Rogers at our museum, he actually has the article. It's in there, and you can see the article, and I think it was a state newspaper.
Okay.
Well, here's the deal. On the 2 rodeos themselves, yes, we are a rodeo, but we are 2 totally different entities, totally different animals, so to speak. They are 2 or 3 days. They're small. They're considered small outdoor rodeo. we're considered a large outdoor rodeo, and that's based on added money. They have 2 perfs, or 2 to 3 perfs. We have 8. It's just the size and the magnitude.
More
of the
reason
two.
To go to both.
Exactly.
And we do.
It's really cool because Payson serves the circuit better than we could. Basically, they're a small rodeo, so all of the local the circuit cowboys, the weekend warriors, those are the rodeos that they're able to enter. Whereas we at World's Oldest, we're so big and we have so much money added that those little guys can't get into it. They're not qualified to enter our rodeo. And so, unless they're really, really good, I think it's the top 20 in the circuit, top 80 in the world can enter, 80% in the world, top 20 in the circuit can enter our rodeo. And so yeah, it's two separate animals, but it's
so myth busting. We got covered one.
Myth busting. That's one.
What's another one that comes up often?
I think we talked about the staffing. It's, you got the board, then you got me, and then you got my staff. Like I said, I think we're there, and so talk some more about it.
So what is the myth with the staffing? And did you want to get into, or no?
No, not. I mean, we
can't bust it, man.
Well,
I think
we don't have to get into anything.
No, I think it kind of goes down to what does the organizational chart look like? What is the truth to the organizational chart? And that is truly the board of directors. Then it's Jim. And the board has given Jim the ability to hire his staff.
Sure.
And so his staff consists of our business advancement manager, our office manager, the support staff, our sponsor. I mean, all those guys go under, including the partners and the sponsors, who are our media partners and all of that. He is in control of all of that.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest myth is what does that look like? Now, the board is always, we meet twice a month. We are very much into, watching dollars and, talking about some of the things, some of the obstacles, or even listening to Jim about, okay, I have this crazy idea and this is how I want to do it. And I don't think there's many that we've ever said no to.
Right.
We all kind of sit around, and you have a lot of talent that sits on this board. It's not just weekend warriors. It's not retired people that just want something fun to do. You have ranchers, you have people that work for APS, people that work for fan contracting. Let's see who else.
You have builders, you have road guys, you have electricians,
exactly.
Contractors. You need these people to get things done, right?
Correct.
At a cost-effective
Retired
rate.
firefighters.
Right. Safety, health and safety.
Correct. So there's a lot of knowledge that sits around that sits around the board. Now, for me in specific, when I became president, I recognized talent. And I will tell them all the time, I will come help you. You got to tell me if you need help. But other than that, I'm not going to ever micromanage you. And I like to pick on Mr. Robbie Long because that's the one thing that I will probably never do is his job. But if he were to ever ask me to go behind the chutes and help him, I will run in stilettos all the way back there. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will help him.
Right.
But I give the respect to what those guys do. Robbie runs the chutes. Right. He runs everything behind the scenes. I couldn't do that job.
I think you're talking about what I mentioned earlier on competency, and there's a lot of competency in the room, and it's just nice. It's very clear. Everyone knows what they're doing.
Correct.
It's an enjoyable environment. I want to finish up with probably one of the most important components of the rodeo, your volunteers. How many does it take to do what you guys do? And throw out some people. What does it mean to you guys? What does it mean to the board? How people can get involved.
I'm going to give you the only answer you need to that. It takes every volunteer to put on this rodeo.
It takes every volunteer to put on the rodeo.
There's no job too big. There's no job too small.
Right. So where can people sign up if they want to become a volunteer of the world's oldest rodeo?
Worldsoldestrodeo.com. There's a tab on there, get involved, I believe. And there's
worldsoldestrodeo.com, get involved.
Well, there's a difference between our members and our volunteers too. So not all of our members are volunteers and not all of our volunteers are members. We do have volunteers that come, that travel, that come from all over the country to volunteer at our rodeo.
And maybe I misspoke. Your membership as well. Let's touch on that because I'm not as educated as you guys are on the importance of your members.
Yeah, I can give you numbers of volunteers and stuff, but I'm giving you that's why I say it takes every one of them.
Every one of them.
Every one of them is important to put on this event. As far as the membership numbers, we're roughly about 300 strong. I believe we've gone up a couple 100%.
Oh yeah,
since I started.
Yeah,
I think there was like 100 or so when I started.
Okay.
And then the volunteers, it obviously swells. We're 600 plus volunteer base, and that's just folks that want to be involved.
Right.
But like I said, every one of them is important. Every one of them is what it takes. And so if we have 900, it takes every one of them.
Right.
If we have 400, it definitely takes every one of them.
So worldsoldestrodeo.com, hit the Get Involved tab. President of the Prescott Frontier Days Board, Kimberly Lopez, General Manager, Jim Dewey Brown. Thank you for coming in. I know we're going to do this again soon because there's way more information. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for taking the time. What's next?
America 250.
Okay, America 250 in 2026.
139th World's Oldest Rodeo, June 29th through July 5th.
We're in.
We are celebrating 250 years of American freedom.
We're going to end with that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
Thank you.